we also make a couple of Flatwire springs. Of course, these look a little bit wieldy because they're so tall. This is a AR-15 Flatwire spring, and this is an AR-10 SR-25 Flatwire spring. You may ask, well, why is a Flatwire spring better than a standard round wire spring? This is a standard issued A2 round wire spring. If we're going to compare apples to apples, let's say that we have these two, and obviously you're going to say, well, the Flatwire spring's a lot taller or a lot longer than the round wire spring. And I will agree, in this particular state, which is free length, they're longer. If you took both of these springs and compressed them to solid height, they would look something like this. Round wire on the right, or my right, flat wire on the left. This means that this flat wire spring, when it goes to solid height, has a lot less stress on it, because the worst thing you can do is take a spring to solid height. It makes it wear out extremely fast. So what this gives you, if you use a round wire spring, is it gives you a slight more load at installed height, or when the bolt is closed. And when the rifle's fired, it actually has a little bit less load on the bolt at its most rearward motion. And everybody goes, well, what good is that? Well, let's just go and say that we've got an AR-15 and we shoot it, and I'm shooting it right here out the window, and I watch my empties go at 1 or 2 or 3 o'clock with a round wire spring. What that tells me is those empties that it went at 1 and 2 o'clock, the bolt rebounded off the back, hit that ejected case and knocked it forward. You turn around and you put a flat wire spring in and shoot it, you're going to find that most of that brass falls over about 3:30. If you're properly set up and you got a 5-gallon bucket and you shoot here, you can pretty much throw all that brass into the 5-gallon bucket. But what's that actually telling me? It's telling me that I've slowed my bolt carrier down. I let the round come up the magazine to a feeding position and be taken back to battery. I didn't use any excessive bolt energy going home or going back to battery. So consequently, when I'm shooting here, that bolt carrier going forward with excess energy makes my rifle dip just slightly, kind of slows me down. So the reason we want to use a chrome silicon flat wire spring, because it makes your following shots, or it makes your follow-up shots quicker, because you're not having to wait for the recovery time for excessive bolt velocity and dipping your front sight. 2 flat wire springs. One's a 36 coil, one's a 42 coil. The 36 coil will operate in A2s and M4 varieties. 42 coil is designed to operate in a A2 variety 308. Along those lines, the acid test for your rifle for reliability of the buffer spring is to put 3 rounds in it in a dirty gun, put it in the freezer, leave it overnight, take it out the next morning, don't hold it against your shoulder, shoot the 3 shots, make sure it functions on the first 2, then fires the last and locks back. That's an acid test to make sure that your gun will be reliable under conditions that are less than favorable.